The first office that I remember is actually in VI or Lekki. Then we now moved to Surulere, stayed there for a bit longer. It was the trenches, but it was fun, grinding every day, just waking up, walking out of your room, because it was like a living office, right? Entering the parlor that we had converted to like a workspace and just, trying to get as much work done as possible.
First investor was a friend, Iyolu Aboyeji. So when I had started, co-founded a previous company, Bitcoins, and when I was thinking about what I was going to do next, I explained to him the vision behind what is now Rise. And he was like, I see what you're trying to do. I think it's absolutely critical and needed. And so he's like, whenever you're ready, I'll write you a check, to get started. After he came in, it was pretty easy for us to go out, build an MVP, and then raise the remaining round for our pre-seed.
It was some sort of validation. You're pitching to different people, trying to raise money to build this brand vision that you have, and then people are actually committing their resources towards backing this vision. So I think the right word would be there was some level of validation in that.
People believe in this. And so it's both encouraging and just super exciting to hear someone say, I believe in your idea enough and I want to give you this amount of money to pursue it. But it's also really like, okay, game on.
I think the sign-ups were usually like manual. There was a whole lot of engineering back and forth going on at the time when the product was still in beta, and then, just started growing, that people were appreciating what we're doing and signing up. And when we got to the first 1,000, it just told us that, okay, maybe we're onto something here.
I remember then Otaz used to help me manage the spreadsheets to track, all the different people that we were managing money for. We got to the first 100. Eventually, it started growing, and a lot of people were coming saying, hey, we need something like this. There was so much demand that eventually we said, let's try to structure this. By the time we realized that this is going to be bigger than what we're thinking, and we need to rebuild and rebrand the company as Rise, we had already crossed like 1,000 subscribers.
You have to understand that the product was in beta for a bit, and when it was finally launched, it was fun, having people use it to better their lives. It was kind of interesting.
Signing Tenny as our first ambassador. That was amazing. I think that happened when we were like 2 years in. So it did give us a lot of credibility. And I remember we had this event at the Civic Center, our Money Rise conference. And she came in and, did a performance. And it was super amazing, the number of people that actually started identifying with the brand because she was affiliated with us.
Her work ethic, she was very open to understanding what we're actually trying to build. Understanding her story and her songs, everyone can be a winner, actually really resonated with the brand.
She was a delight to work with. She understands the vision. She really gets it.
One of the big things that I think AK and the team has been really, really good about emphasizing is over communicating and just being as transparent as possible, because it's always better to avoid issues than to start trying to resolve issues afterwards. And so I think that has been the biggest part of building trust with both the customers and the investors.
We're very granular with our users. We used to have these office space events where people could actually walk in and sit down with us, ask questions, and we answered their questions, had fun, refreshment. And so that helped us to build trust, allowing our users see us up close and personal, and then getting all our regulatory issues, on point.
Coming into the market, we realized that, Nigeria is a low trust society. Not blaming anyone, but it's just what it is. So we had to make sure that we were accessible.
Our first thing is just do the work well. Try and make sure that everyone understands the value you're driving, and whatever you receive in terms of fees or whatever, but don't make it the primary mission. Make the primary goal to give your customer the best value you can, act in their best interest, and the trust will naturally come in. I think that's the one thing I can say we've done, and that's something we will continue to do.
Imagine a story that had just like a flat, no high points, no low points. There'll be not an interesting one. The first one was when we received the unexpected shocker from our able regulators. That was a fun one to navigate. On one end you had to deal with user trust and over communicate. On another end, we had to meaningfully engage with the regulators and help them see the vision of what we're trying to build.
Eventually, all of that was resolved. So we knew that we had done our best. We had done everything according to what was right. And so we stood up for ourselves as well. And, with the support of both our investors, our customers, even the regulators themselves, right? Eventually we came out of that, and customer trust was increased because during that whole period, our operations did not stop. Our investments were still moving forward. People were still able to fund, people were still able to withdraw. And we really were able to demonstrate the fact that Rise is very resilient, and at the core of what we do, we had very strong operational processes and depth to be able to operate even in a very difficult environment.
Some of what we are doing are things we've not done before. So every day we are learning on the job, getting better at it. And so when that challenge happened, again, it's something a lot of us at that time had not faced. But being able to overcome that showed us that, okay, no matter what happens down the line, that we were up to the task. For the next 4 years, one of our plans, our vision, is to dominate our space. That means, whenever you think about dollar investments in general, you think Rise.
The vision hasn't changed. We still want to be the most impactful fintech by providing our users with the best wealth creating opportunities that are available outside the shores of Nigeria and also within. So that hasn't changed, but the strategy around how we intend to achieve that vision might change based on various factors, but the vision remains.
It's a new ball game with creating trust in Uganda and in Kenya. And so it's going to be, I think the next 4 years is really just going to be us fortifying our mission, making sure that, the trust that we have built with our clientele is able to scale up into these other countries as we grow.
Some of it is basically just doing the basic things right. Users still need communication, so we'll double down on that. Constantly tell them, this is what's going on, this is how we are managing your investments, and this is how you're earning returns.
There's also new and interesting plans that we're trying to introduce on the product. And a lot of other interesting things. You just have to keep checking it out.
Some of the things that we're building into the products, or that we're going to do, especially the next year, is increase the level of direct insights that customers have into the day-to-day of what their investments are doing, deeper insights into the product, deeper insights into the portfolio, deeper insights into our selection process.
One of the things they've really focused on is our data security and making sure that the information customers, clients, even employees share with us and is safe even in our own hands, because it's one thing for your app to be breached on your end, and it's another thing for it to be breached on our end.
There's something very interesting that we do, which is a lot of user education. I believe that education is helpful, and a lot of our users are starting to see the benefit of just staying invested, compounding your money and making it work for you.
I do think that patience would go a long way, because it puts less stress on the team while we try to resolve the issues. Also, it gives us a space to sort of resolve it faster if we're not worried about how they will react in a few minutes without an answer. So patience would be I think that is a great way to summarize that.
We as a company, no matter how passionate we are about our vision, there's zero chance that we'll be here if customers don't agree or align with that vision and trust us to do the job for them. There's more than 600,000 people now under the Rise umbrella collectively. And we're grateful for every single one of you. And we look forward to continue to do this work for you over the years. Tell us what you need us to build for you. And as much as possible, just understand that there will be no rise if you didn't support us. And we're always grateful for that.